Welcome to the Localpreneur Show, a podcast dedicated to featuring community-based entrepreneurs, the principles they live by, and the success they're having making a difference in the world. Here's your host, Austin Kane.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Localpreneur Show. Super excited to be here today with AARK Total Home Services out of Denver, Colorado. Again, my name's Austin, here with Vital Storm. We've got Titus here with us today to share their story about how they're impacting their local community, the people around them, the people they work for, and the people that work for them, how they're engaging their own organization to be better, to go out and exemplify the things that they stand for and that the things that they're hoping that their employees will do for them. And so, Titus, let me turn the floor over to you here for a second to share a little bit to all the listeners today about who you are and a little bit about the business and how you guys came about, some of the things that you guys are doing.
Great. Thanks for having me. Again, my name's Titus Terranova. I am the owner and president of AARK Total Home Services. We're a family-owned and operated business that was established in 1984 by my father and mother out of our house in Arvada. At that point in time, they were sole employees and owners and had no idea of what this was going to turn into. With a little bit of luck and a lot of hard work, we've grown this operation to today where we currently have about 25 employees, approximately 20 trucks on the road. It came to be that way simply by doing good work for our customers, treating our employees well so they stick around with us, treating our customers well, doing good work for them. A little bit of history about how I got involved in the company. I kind of grew up in a sheet metal shop, and by the time I was 11 years old, I was helping make ductwork and metal for the guys in the field. By the time I was 15, I realized that this is what I wanted to do for a career. So I really started investing my time and energy into obtaining the licenses it takes to operate the heating and air conditioning company, as well as I wanted to expand into other areas to service our customers. So the next step, after I obtained my HVAC mechanical licenses, is I began to pursue my electrical apprenticeship and became a master electrician. I had accomplished that by roughly the time I was 21 or 22, and we opened up an electrical department in the business at that point in time. Over the next 5 years, I spent time dedicating to the plumbing side of the business, going through the apprenticeship with that, obtaining the master plumber's license, as well as I was also pursuing becoming a Class B general contractor. So throughout that period, I obtained both of those licenses. So by about the time I was 32 years old, I personally held the state of Colorado master electrician's license, a state of Colorado master's plumber license. I hold an International Code Council mechanical master. I hold HVAC supervisor's licenses in the city of Denver. And then I also hold a Class B construction license throughout the various cities that require it in the metro area. So what that's done for us is made it so that I don't need subcontractors. I'm able to do all of the work that we complete in-house with our own employees. And in fact, it's put us in a position to where my employees can also start obtaining these licenses. So they have become apprentices operating underneath me. I've got several different people that are heading up these various departments, and then they have guys working underneath them. So not only are we trying to service our community, we're trying to help our employees grow their careers, grow their financial stability, and grow their family lives as well.
Yeah, no, that all sounds like, you've been staying busy for quite a while and plugging yourself into not only the trades, but also plugging yourself into the business and the employees that are surrounding you and sharing your love for what you're doing. And that's really what this whole podcast today is really all about. It's highlighting those home and local service businesses that are making a difference in their communities. They're impacting the lives of the people that are around them. They're impacting the lives of the people that work for them. And that's really a common thread that we've seen in some of our clients' lives and some of the people that we communicate with on a daily basis You guys are all pouring into the community, and that story is really never being shared. And so that's why we're here today. I wanted to share your story as to how you guys are giving back, some of the things you guys are engaging in, and ultimately how you're changing the lives of all of the people that are around the business in some form or fashion. So let's jump in and let's share a little bit more about y'all's story. Titus, let's talk about a little bit of the impact that your organization is making in the local community. Tell us a little bit about maybe some of the charities that you guys partner with, or some of the projects that you guys do outside of the normal, service work that you guys provide, but some of those special one-off projects or things that you guys do to change the lives of the people around you.
Sure. So our family has been involved in politics in Arvada for about the last 40 years. My father served on the Arvada City Council, the Arvada Planning Commission, and actually he currently serves as a member of the Arvada Fire Department Board of Directors. Through those organizations, we have a lot of exposure to people that are less fortunate and that need some assistance from time to time. Over the years, we've done things with charities that raise money for first responders through golf tournaments, through local hockey tournaments. Most recently, we've been involved with the East Troublesome fire that went through the Grand County area approximately 14 months ago. We've spent time this past summer working with the Rotary Club, the Kiwanis up there, help raise some money for contributions to help clean up some of these lots. I'm sure, as most people are seeing, almost everybody is underinsured on these projects. So what we were able to do is help get some money there to help pay for the trucking and the trash removal. And then I personally donated approximately 4 days of my time and then 3 of my tractors and fuel with one of my employees. And we went up there and scraped and cleaned up approximately 3 of these lots this last summer, free of charge to the homeowners that own them, just trying to help them get a jump start on the process of rebuilding their lives.
Yeah.
Now with what just happened last month in the Boulder County fire, which they're calling the Marshall Fire, we're trying to do similar things in this community situation as well. I've been involved with a team of people weekly that are conducting some meetings, and we're trying to put together some events to raise some money, as well as we're trying to find a veteran or veterans that have lost their home in there that are worthy of us donating similar services to, getting their lot cleaned up, donating, getting the trash off of there so they kind of get a jump start on the process of rebuilding their lives. Those are the big things that we do. From time to time, we'll have a homeowner, usually an elderly person, that'll call us up. They won't have heat. We'll go out there. We'll find that they have a furnace that's beyond repair. Once or twice a year, we will do a donation where we donate the product, and my guys will actually donate their time. They'll come into work for free that day, help get somebody back up and get their house warm so that they're not there suffering. So those are the types of things that we really try to do to help people out in our community.
Yeah, no, and that's all great. I mean, yeah, those fires, I mean, obviously they change the lives of the people forever. I mean, and so you guys jumping in and donating your time and your resources and some of the things that you guys can do for them to just help them get from one stepping stone to the next to get back onto the path of living their normal life again, I'm sure it's a lasting impact for them. It's just a couple of days work for you guys, but that can impact them for their whole lifetime. And like you said, the story of jumping in and doing that free work for maybe an elderly or maybe a veteran or somebody that just is in need of that project, and donating those products, donating that time. I mean, again, it's to you guys, sure, that could be a hit on the bottom line there at the end of the year when you're looking at all your expenses and everything that goes into it. But to them, that's something that impacts kind of stick around with them for a lifetime, because you guys are doing more than just your service work. You're changing their lives. You're making sure that their livelihood is taken care of, and it's one less thing off the worry plate that they have to think of, and they can cross it off the list and move on to the next thing. And so it's cool to see that you guys are jumping in, and you're more than just the service work. You're jumping in to do all these things in the community and giving back and helping people out there in need. Overall, Titus, you guys are engaged in all of these projects and helping out and giving back, and doing some of these cool stories. What's the general impact that you've noticed as the owner, seeing maybe the person you're impacting, or maybe the people in your organization that are doing the job? What's kind of the overall impact that you see that people are getting from doing these opportunities?
Well, I know, us personally, the employees and myself, we get a real personal satisfaction out of helping these people. I mean, they're literally in tears when we're there working for them. So you know how much it means to them. So that gives us a great sense of satisfaction in itself, which is part of the reason why we do what we do. The other reason that we're doing what we do is because we continue to have these relationships with our customer. We're not the kind of company where we do a project for you and then we never see or talk to you again. In fact, I'm in the middle of a job. We've been at a lady's house for the last 3 months. She keeps adding things on to us every day that we're there. She dreads the day that we're leaving. She's had us doing work at her house for the last 10 years. And it's almost like these people become part of our family.
Yeah.
So, and it's a situation where when we're in the neighborhood, we'll stop by and see them, because a lot of our work comes from referrals, from word of mouth, where they've seen us doing such a good job for a particular homeowner, and then they hire us. So then we're back in that general area and get to continue these relationships. And I've got customers, I've watched them have brand new babies, and now those babies have their own babies. That's the kind of relationships that we have with people. I think one of the other things that I really like to pat myself on the back about is the employee retention that we have. The majority of the guys that are working for me have been with me for a decade plus. I have some that have been with me for multiple decades. That's pretty rare in our industry. Most heating and air and electrical and plumbing companies have a pretty high turnover of employees, especially in our market, because everybody's trying to steal a guy from the other company, because it's hard to find employees right now. So the fact that my guys are all still here, I've lost a few here and there, but most of them have come back. I would say the only ones that I have lost that haven't either wanted to come back here and seek employment again, it'd be people that have gone and started their own businesses, which I've actually promoted and helped. I can't blame a guy for wanting to be his own boss. Sure, I don't like losing a good employee, but at the same time, I completely respect the risk that it takes and the reward. Yeah. So I have several guys that have worked for me in the past that are all out doing their own thing. And I still help them and help give them guidance. I'll give them advice. I will even help them obtain permits, because of the licenses that I have, and the position that I'm in is unique, that most guys are not able to do what I can do. So if they've treated me well, I'm good with treating them well for the future. So that, I think, speaks a lot about how AARK has treated its employees and its customers over the years.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to ask next, is talking about your organization, how it's impacted the people that work for you or have worked for you, and telling some of those stories about those people that have worked for you. Now they're off on their own, running their own business, because that obviously reflects on you and how you run your business, because you're not there just to collect the biggest paycheck and live your life and live the owner life. You're wanting to have a great life for your employees, and have them become everything that you've become as well, and own their own business and enjoy their livelihood. So, what are some of the things that, if you can highlight on any, that you're doing to impact your employees' lives and help them be better personally and professionally, and just be better overall?
Well, so I actually have a handful of guys that started here green with no experience. Back in the day, they were coming in at $8 to $10 an hour, which today you're talking that's like 16. But anyways, it's now they're at a point where they worked for me for so long, they're making over $100,000 a year with a full benefits package. They get a take-home truck, a gas card, iPhones, iPads. Then I think I've got something in play that a lot of owners don't do, because they probably get greedy and feel like they don't want to sacrifice any of their shares. But I have 4 employees that have worked for me all for more than 10 years. And because they're so valued to my organization, I have vested them in with ownership. So I've put them in programs where they earn 0.5% of the ownership of this company over each year, to a point where they each will get 5% total. I've made it as long as they work for me, to the point that they retire. That's theirs to get sold back to the business when they get to retirement point. I've also set it up in a sense to where if God forbid something happens to that employee, they can will that benefit to their family. So it's not a
Yeah.
lost benefit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I don't really know of any other business owners that are willing to do things like that. I kind of look at it, a lot of how I try to practice and run my business is based upon Marcus Limon and how he runs his businesses. If you are making so much money that you feel like you're really doing a good job, you need to be sharing that with the people that are helping you make it, because you're going to start losing them, as well as they deserve to take part in the benefits of what they're doing. So I look at it like I would rather have a really successful business that's making $5 million a year and I'm sharing, maybe $1 million of that with my employees in profit share, versus I'm doing $3 million a year and I'm not sharing any of that with anybody.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's benefiting me, it's benefiting my employees, and it's good for the community, and it's good for the employees and their families.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it's almost that, you're willing to show that, hey, these employees are almost like family to you, that you're willing to entrust them with part ownership of your company, and that, that's how valuable that them being there to you is. And like you said, yeah, not a lot of people are doing that. I've never heard something like that on any of these episodes that I have done before. And so, yeah, I think it's a pretty cool thing that you guys are doing, because, like I said, you are showing the value to them that, hey, you being here and you showing your expertise and putting your life on the line for me every day, doing the service work that you're doing, is more impactful than I can say, really, is kind of what it shows to me. So, Titus, what about anything else that maybe you have to share with everyone today that maybe we haven't asked or haven't talked about? Any story that we should highlight here today about you guys?
I think outside of everything else that we just talked about, I think the reason that people really find our company appealing is the fact that you have direct access to the owner. I've got these other key people involved in this company. So even if I'm off doing something and I'm unavailable, I have key members in place to help deal with any sort of catastrophes or emergencies that arise, because we all know in business they're present all the time. So somebody has to be able to make those calls. And the biggest thing is the fact that because we operate the business the way that we do, it's satisfying to my customers. So we're able to complete projects in a more timely fashion. We're able to do a little higher quality of work, and we're able to come in at a more competitive price point than a lot of my competition is able to do.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I appreciate you sharing all that with me. And I think it sounds like, from everything you have shared, and from the impact you guys are making to the people that are there, to the things that you're able to offer to the people you serve. I mean, you guys have really your head on straight. You're going in the right direction. You're doing all the things that you should be doing, and even above that you guys are pouring back and doing all the things you guys are doing. So, Titus, I appreciate you sharing everything you had to share today here on the Localpreneur Show. Before we jump off, any lasting comments that you want to leave with the listeners here today?
I just would like to say thanks for listening, and appreciate anybody that has interest in us.
Yeah, absolutely, Titus. Well, I appreciate having you and AARK Total Home Services, and would really encourage anybody that is listening. I'm sure they've picked up on a couple of things today, and so hopefully they can take that and use that in their own businesses and help run a successful business themselves. So, Titus, again, thank you, and look forward to the next episode of Localpreneur Show.
Thank you, Austin. I appreciate it.
Thanks again for listening to the Localpreneur Show. For more of our daily content, feel free to check out Josh or Austin's LinkedIn.